Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And very interesting day so far in the life of a Springbok fan and with the Springbok environment. With, first of all, a South African A squad being named, as well as a Springbok press conference, which has confirmed quite a few things ahead of the rest of the week. We do have a South Africa A versus Munster game on Thursday, 9:30 South African Standard Time. We'll be doing a video on how you can watch that game for free, which will be coming out tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled on that. And then obviously the Springboks versus France this week, Saturday, a massive game because, you know, you always talk about the fact that a Springbok coach, an All Blacks coach, and a lot of some of the top coaches are always sort of 2 to 3 losses in a row away from being sacked. And so Springboks under a lot of pressure if they were to go and lose again to France, especially with that England test at the end of the series, with a lot of the Springboks not being available due to it falling outside of the test window. So on the back of that, some very interesting selections so far in the SAA squad and some updates coming out of the Springbok squad, which is what we're going to be talking about a little bit here now. Before we do, please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Let's see if we can get up to 21,000 ahead of Thursday night's rugby, as well as this weekend, which will be another blockbuster. Expected to see a lot of some cool results. Finn Russell, for example, back for Scotland against the All Blacks, so nice big narrative building there. But in terms of the Springbok sort of updates, so Lood de Jager has been confirmed as injured for this weekend, will not feature for the Boks against France. Now, that presents quite a few selection conundrums, really, because, for example, Pieter-Steph du Toit playing better on Saturday, but still not at his best. Franco Mostert still showing that he is very much one of the form players in the Boks squad. He is a natural, or sort of originally a natural sort of number 5 lock, so can very easily slot into the Lood de Jager sort of role, but has been playing very good rugby on the flank and was there again a lot during the sort of rugby championship. However, a couple of interesting sort of hints from the selection point of view within the SAA squad. Now, if you look at the SAA squad, a couple of big names being left out, and those sort of names in terms of names who were left out that aren't going to be involved in the SAA, that weren't involved with the Boks this weekend, are the likes of your Trevor Nyakane, for example, Andre Esterhuizen. We had no, for example, no. I'm talking about Tal Murat, for example, Marvin Orie, Evan Roos. You know, a lot of these players being, Kobus Reinach, for example, being retained within the Springbok squad and not named in the SAA squad. So despite them not being involved with the Boks, they have not been named in the SAA squad. Now, currently some big news is apparently that Salman Murat and Evan Roos, for example, have been retained in the Boks squad because of the injury. So apparently they were both set to potentially play in the SAA squad, as well as Manie Libbok. Apparently, Manie Libbok was also very much in the plans to play in this SAA game on Thursday, but those have changed, and he has been retained in the Boks squad, which can indicate a couple of things. It means we could potentially be seeing Evan Roos this weekend, as well as potentially Salman Murat, for example. But it also means that I think that sounds like Manie Libbok is suddenly very much within the potential plans. Could be on the brink of a test debut. Otherwise, why would you retain? Why would you change the plans? Unless there are a couple of injuries that we don't know about. But the main one was talked about the fact that Franco Mostert, that Lood de Jager is definitely out. But that's the only sort of real confirmed injury that we do have out of the Bok camp. So, yeah, the fact that Evan Roos has been retained as injury cover would suggest that potentially it's two things. You know, for example, obviously, as I said, you've got the option of putting Franco Mostert in at lock, which then opens a spot off the bench. Or else you keep Franco Mostert on the bench. For example, you add Salman Murat or Marvin Orie, probably more Marvin Orie really in terms of playing 5 into the Boks starting lineup. But then again, how does your bench change? You know, do you continue with Deon Kwagga-Smith and Franco Mostert? Do you look at a different type of loose forward and put in Evan Roos, who's quite explosive? It's a very high-paced game we will be playing against France, and a very big kicking game as well. We saw that they had 36 kicks out of hand. Not to say that Ireland were not very much a ball-in-hand team, but also expect conditions to be a little bit more favourable. And so I think it's very interesting to sort of see how we will go and counter the French this weekend. And I think the French pack, you know, is a strong pack, but I think without Paul Willemse, maybe a little bit lightweight. I wouldn't say that lightweight, but because they've got some world-class players. I mean, the front row is second to very few. And the back row as well, probably the back row in the world right now, one of the top 2, if not 3 best back rows. So I think it's only really the second row where the Boks will be sitting there thinking that they've got their number. But so I think the makeup of the team is very much within the balance. For example, do you go with a 5-3 split, not a 6-2 split, and include Libbok in as well as Willie le Roux and a Faf de Klerk, for example, if they keep the bench the same? And if you do that, do you want to go, you know, if there's an injury, for example, do you start Kwagga-Smith in the pack, and you go with a lock and a Evan Lewis on the bench. So quite a lot of interesting calls to make. And that have been made in terms of the SAA squad and who's been retained within the Springbok squad. So let me know down in the comments, do you think we will see Evan Lewis, Moe Liebach, or Salman Murat this weekend? What do you guys think? Do you want to see them? I think a lot of people want to see Evan Lewis, and a lot of people are calling for Moe Liebach as well. So let me know what you think down in the comments below as well. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.